Hey guys, what's up? Today is the first Element 3D tutorial I'll have made, and this is all Element 3D and a few After Effects plugins, or not plugins, After Effects effects. So here's the video. It's gotta render. Beautiful. Kind of glitching it right now, but yeah, it's the base video. So yeah, I will be showing you in this tutorial how to stylize bb-8. Because if you look at bb-8, gears loading. Sorry guys. Here we go. Right here. Alright, so if you look at bb-8, you can see some really good like colorization and stuff. Like reflections you can see the reflection on bb-8. And one thing that makes this effect real powerful is you can see his body. It takes you like an hour and a half to make that reflection in After Effects? Well, Element does it all. So I'm gonna walk you through it real quick and then we'll get started. So the first thing I have is my element layer. So in my scene setup, I have bb-8's head and head and the body on different groups, so I can animate them more easily. So what we have here is bb-8. What I did is, so I put them on different groups. Then we have the corridor. Alright, so here's the corridor. Let me show you without the grid real quick. It's quite large, as you can see. Let me turn the environment off. Yeah, so it's really quite large. So the whole video is going to be inside the corridor. This is actually one of the skinnier corridors. So yeah, the whole thing is fully rigged inside. I think this is where bb-8 comes out actually in the video. Yeah, so we have this corridor. It's actually nice. I'll show you how to stylize it. So what I'm going to show you real quick is what it looks like when it brings in. Except for bb-8. Turning everything off except for bb-8. And the scene setup. Oops. bb unit. Where is my bb unit? Can't see anything. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, so I gotta turn on the group. Okay, so sorry guys. So this is bb-8 when he comes in. I mean, he's not too bad. I mean, he looks pretty okay. And yeah, so, and then, yeah. Alright, so yeah, so bb-8 comes out of this kind of hall, spinning, as you can see, and he kind of moves and comes towards us. And then he kind of looks right here, and he takes off. So that looks nice. And again, this is just mostly Element, no third-party plugins. So yeah, let's get started. So first I'm going to create my new comp. I'm going to call it bb-8. Alright. And I'm going to create a solid, doesn't matter what color, and drop in Element. So what I'm going to do in the scene setup, I'm going to go into my star pack. Now you can download this star pack from videocopilot.net, and it's a free star pack. So yeah, has some nice models in it. So I'm going to bring in bb-8, the corridor, and that's it. I have some like space fighters and X-Wings and all that, so it comes with this kind of stuff. All these models and like, you know, TIE fighters and all that. But I'm not using that today. So yeah, it comes with all those. But what we're going to be creating is the bb-8. So I will have other tutorials on how to create other stuff. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the BB unit outside of that folder. So now it's its own folder. Put everything else, the corridor, in a new folder. So now we have the BB unit and the other folder. So what we're going to be working on right now is the BB unit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take its body outside of its head, create a group folder. I'm going to put the group folder outside, and then I'm just going to bring both of these in. They're still different, but they're in one group folder. Just makes it easier. So now what I can do, since they're both in different things, I have the BB unit body right here, and I have the BB unit head. So I'm going to disable the body on the head, and I'm going to disable in the body the head stuff. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go inside let me just bring that outside of that. I think so if this closes up. Alright, so actually I want it inside this group folder. So that. So now I'm going to go into my head. So since I have this group folder, I can see both of them together, which is nice. I'm going to go into my head, and I'm going to go into the head diffuse, or not head diffuse, head specular, bring it down to 60. You'd think since I'm lowering it, that it lower the specular. Well, it does. So I'm going to bring, since the specular is like that, I'm going to bring it down to a 60. I'm going to bring the head reflection down to a 90. To where now it's a lot more shiny and nice looking. Then what I'm going to do is for the small glass, I'm going to go into the go back into the head, go to the basic settings, and I'm just going to do the glossiness and set it down to a 60. Oh, wait, whoops. 90, sorry. So now we have the gloss, and it's more all over too. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the small glass. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go into the advanced and set the blend mode to add. So that just makes it a little more shiny. I didn't like the big glass being on add. So go down to here, set it to add. Just looks a little shiny and creepy to me. So I like it here. So that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go into the body. Let's see, sorry, that group folder, head, BB unit, body. Here we go. So, I don't know why that, wait, seriously. Where's the head? Okay, well, for some reason the head group folder has the body in it. Alright, so we're going to go into the body, and same settings basically for it. We're going to set the specular down to a 60. Set the reflectivity down to a 90. like that. So now we got a little more gloss and stuff. And for the corridor, I'm going to go into the environment and set it to the basic 2K5. That just adds a little more corridor looking bb-8 to it. Then what we're going to do is go down to the basic settings, and same thing, glossiness down to 90. So now we have like more of a kind of good looking bb-8. So yeah, that's the basic bb-8. So now what we're going to do is close up that group folder, go into this group folder. The corridor, go inside. I'm going to shut off my grid so you can see this difference. Sorry. Shut off the grid. So I can go back inside the main hall right here. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty nice. So I'm going to go into the floor. Wait, not the floor. The walls for right now. And go into the corridor walls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the corridor specular. Same settings. 60 and 90. Then and just do that on all of them. 60. Oh, not minus. And 90. D. Wires. I get 90 on the wires. And actually 60. The other thing, because the wires are a little more normal that way. Keep going. Just go all the way through the ceiling. 60. 90, 60. It's kind of boring, but it really does make your effect a lot better. 90. One more. Pillars. Now you're going to see a big difference. 60. Let me just actually get you towards the pillars. 60. You saw that? Hopefully. Hopefully you saw that. The pillars went a lot more gloss. 90. There you go. That looks a lot nicer. So yeah, that's the corridor halls. There's just a bunch more, and they're already set because it's just the loops and left is already set because it's the same thing. So now we have our basic corridor, and then we can also go onto the floor and go into each one and just set it to 60 and 90. And that just makes the floor a little more glossy. See? Alright, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the reflect mode and set it to environment. For each floor. Sorry. Environment. That kind of darkened up our scene, but it will look good. And the last one, I think it's environment. Maybe it's mirror surface. Yeah, I think it's mirror surface actually. Sorry guys. Mirror surface is the one that makes it look good. Yes, mirror surface. Just looks a lot nicer. See, now we have our mirror surface in place and the corridors already. So, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back into the bb-8. And so it looks nice. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the body copy, reflect mode, set it to spherical. And then just do it to each one spherical, and then one more spherical. Might take a little longer, but it looks nice. I don't know if you can see that difference, but it makes a difference in the end. So set the group folder for bb-8 to 2, and let's go in. Actually, whoa, sorry, I forgot one thing. Go into the bb-8 body and just go to the head and go into the, go into the BB unit head right here like if I saw this and turn everything else off, it's the head. Go into the head and just set it to auxiliary animation 2, and the body is 1. So now if I create a camera, now we have to go in the hall and fix them all up. We're almost in there. Okay, we're in. Alright, so now let me just get it into place. I think I'm going to go inside bb-8's body. Maybe I'm like right next to him. Yeah, I'm literally like right next to him. But still, the detail in this is still awesome. Let me just zoom out a little bit. And move over. I'm actually, just to get my camera set up, I'm going to go into here and go into 4 views. Just so I can see my hall better. Oh, and just one more thing. I am using the Element 3D version 2. So some of this stuff might be a little different in version 1. Here we go. Now we're starting to get there. Maybe just a little more. Yeah, so this might be a little better. He's going to be smaller than this, so good. That's good. So he's going to be a lot smaller. Go into my element layer. Go into my group. I think it's group 2. Let me check. Yeah, group 2. Sometimes you got to check. Group 2. Particle look. Sorry. And set the size down to 5, which should set both of them down. Yep, there we go. So that's a nice looking bb-8. I can go into the auxiliary animation. Auxiliary animation 2, I think. And just change the rotation of it on the one of the axes. Why am I in 2 views for some reason? Oh wait, that's on the body. Oops. The head's the first one. Alright, here. So rotate it here. I think. Maybe here. Alright, whatever. Alright, so we're not going to get him right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the auxiliary animation 2, the position, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, or go into the create null, and then what I'm going to call this null, I'm going to rename it and call it bb-8 movement, like that. So the movement, and what I can do is I'm going to go into here and I can move it. So it should move the whole body, not just the head. Yes. Alright, so we got that. I'm a little straight, so it's kind of hard to see to move him back. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to not move it that far, but like that. Pull off. I'm just gonna move like this, so now I can see it well. So I'll keep moving it backwards like that. I think that might be a little far. I think that's a little far. Maybe move it forward on the X to where he comes through. To where he's not through the wall. I think around there is pretty good. Then just move him behind the wall. Like that. So then we can just do the position of the null, and I'm gonna go 20 frames. I'm just gonna move this in to where maybe just go like, I'm just gonna keep my thing at 100 or whatever, 100 frames like that. So that's a little off of 100 frames. Like that. All right. So now we have our 20 frames, and I'm gonna move him. That's my element layer. My body and my head over to where you can see him, like right around here. Well, that's, since we can't see him right now, we can't see him. I'm just gonna move my camera again because we're positioning. There we go. Looks good. It's right around here. So now I have this keyframe where I can go like this. And he'll come out. I think. Yep, he's coming. Alright, sorry. There we go. So he doesn't have the rotation yet, but he will get it. So yeah. So he moves through here, and then I kind of want him to bend one of these points, like not rotate it, but like move this. Oh, all right, wait a second. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, yeah, it works. So what he's gonna do is we're gonna keyframe this. Then just around here, he's gonna start moving for a few frames like that. And he's just gonna move to 90 degrees to where he's facing us. And I'm not gonna make it actually 90. I'm gonna make it like 93, just so he's a little more off, because he's a robot. It makes it a little more robotic looking. So we have this. He comes out of the corner. There we go. And he starts kind of spinning. His head's gonna kind of, his body's, it's gonna make it look a little more realistic. Maybe make that spin a little earlier, like this. But yeah, he basically comes out of the corridor and he starts spinning. In mine, I kind of used it, but like weird, and kind of made him look like he's dancing. My example, but we can make it different. So yeah, but I like how he's kind of off center and not like just like that. That's perfect. You know, he's a little off center. He's a robot, so he can't be perfect. You know. So this is what it looks like. So yeah, maybe easy use this one. You know, gradual kind of. So as he starts kind of spinning, then he'll kind of easy into it, to where it's not, has to be perfectly on that frame. It can kind of bend a little slower, I guess. But yeah, so I kind of put him off axis like that. That looks pretty good. So then what we want to do is we want to come over. So we want to go from this frame 32. I'm gonna go maybe 10 frame, 20 frames. I'm just gonna move him towards us. So now he has kind of a bend to it. He's getting quite large. But yeah, that looks pretty. That's looking okay. I mean, I kind of want him a little closer, like that. So now we can see him pretty nicely. So, and he has a curve too. So like we're gonna have to curve him a little bit. But this is basically what it looks like so far. Once I render it, but we're using a null to move him, which is easier than having to use the particle position. And so we have like one thing, so if we need to change it, we don't have to go into all those keyframes. We can just kind of change it as we need to, which is kind of nice. I don't know if we need to though. It's gonna start going that way and then come towards us. That's kind of more robot, axis kind of thing. Because he can't be perfectly on it, or it won't just look totally real, So now he's coming towards us. He's gonna kind of okay. Maybe my spinning like go into my position when he stops. So I need to move to my position keyframe until he starts going. So right here, I need to move my position keyframe over a little bit just so he doesn't ever stop completely, In my original example for you guys, I was gonna create like an explosion happen. Just never got to it. So sorry about that, but you get this tutorial. And I'll post this final video up, and so y'all can use it. And you always learn in your tutorials. In the original shot, I used the rotation and the actual particle look to spin him, but this is a lot better because he's not still moving that way, and this null helps. So yeah, he gets pretty close, and then I'm gonna have him zoom off or something. So yeah. That's pretty much the beginning shot of him. Looks pretty nice. Maybe move this position over just a little bit so we can have a better look at him. Okay, but yeah, so like, does it ever stop? Not really. But what we can do is we can really move the camera around, and I put the camera at 80 millimeter, and I feel like that's probably one of the best cameras. But yeah, so position elevation. There we go. Position elevation. Right. So yeah, that looks pretty nice. Yeah. So now what we can do is we can start working on the rotation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the head, or the body, I guess. Go into its rotation. So go into here. Now that we made the null, it should start spinning correctly. Shoot. Oh wait, that's the position. Whoops. No, wrong thing. Rotation. Right here. So if I rotate it should just rotate. Yep. Alright, so if you just rotate it without the null object, it'll go all over the place, like up and down and up and down. Yeah, so this is nice to have a kind of steady movement. So the first, let me go into my position keyframes. I want my position and rotation. Position and rotation. Can I P shift R like that? Can I do that? And I'm just gonna keep the position rotation. So I'm just gonna go back to here. So he kind of starts rotating, but this is really kind of where his first little action is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keyframe this at 0 here, and just move that position or the keyframe over. I'm just gonna actually press U on this so I can see all my keyframes. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Move this rotation over a little bit. Wait, no, move it off axis a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. So I have this, and I'm just gonna move my keyframe over. Here I'm gonna have a kind of gradual kind of face to where he doesn't have to be this kind of way. So like I'm gonna easy ease this. This is what the rotation looks like with it. I'm gonna have a little head wobble too with him, but I'll do that later. We're gonna have to get the position done right first. Slow down. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so it kind of looks like he's slowing down. I think I did it the wrong way though. Yeah, I did. Oops. Yeah, it kind of looks like he's slowing down. Then right around here-ish, I'm gonna start his rotation this way. Right? Yeah. Alright, this way. So I'm gonna keyframe it at 0, and then once we finish the rotation, right around, well actually once we get here, I'm gonna keyframe it to do a bunch of that actually. Like this. To where it's gonna keep spinning and stuff. Because bb-8's not the perfect kind of, you know. So that's the end of that one. So then here, I'm gonna, once he rotates, I'm gonna keep going here to where he actually like rotates nicely. I'm gonna keep going around to like 3 times, you know, rotate it fully 3 times. So now we have the first part of it done. Actually, shoot, I need to go, once I get past here, like once I get here instead, I mean like -3 on here. So actually, let me just do that and add a minus sign to this one, then make a minus sign to the 3, like that. So now it's actually going the right way. Once it renders, I'll show you. But what's nice about it is kind of off axis, so it kind of comes towards the camera. I'm going to move the camera in the end to where it looks more nice. Alright, let's see this. So it looks a little off. So what I'm going to do for these first 2 keyframes, right here, I'm going to easy ease these to where, actually the first one should be fine, but yeah, I'm just going to render this real quick to where it's more easy to come into it. Actually, what I should do for this one, this keyframe right here, I should go into here and add easy in to it to where it's kind of, that didn't work. Eventually we'll add depth of field to it and always have his body the main course, and I'll just do it more loosely so it has like motion blur kind of thing to it going on. So yeah, there's his body. Alright. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. I'm gonna actually go into this one. I'm gonna, instead of easy ease in this one, just go into an easy out. Alright, whatever. Maybe just go into the, here we go. Go into these two and easy in this one. And easy out the other one. Just so it's a little more subtle, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna also, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the null for this, and I'm gonna add a head wobble. I'm gonna add a, well, I guess it's a body wobble too, so actually I gotta find that effect again. Position here, slide control. So I'm gonna have the slide control. Right here and add it onto this null. So if I add the slide control, like let me go into here, just kind of slide it a little bit. Slide it. Actually, the slide control is not really gonna work for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna auxiliary animation it. I'm gonna go into my channel 1 and go into my rotation. I'm just gonna rotate it. Now that we have that null, it should be working better. Let me go back into my scene setup. Since I have this BB unit, since I have the head, I can just duplicate the head. Well, no. And it's going to, alright. Everything I just did. Now, I thought. Here we go, yeah. So we added a little head wobble. That was the last thing we did. Next thing I'm gonna do is, so you can see that head wobble. It's just my little head wobble. Here we go. So yeah, that's looking pretty nice. So as that goes, I'm gonna actually do the Y rotation just a little bit after on the position. Let me go into the BB. So like right here, I'm gonna add the Y. Right, on the rotation, I'm gonna add the Y in there, and just go into here. Once I get to around here, I think that looks right here. So I'm just gonna move him. It's not my Y rotation. Shoot, 0. It's not my right. It's my X rotation. Sorry. So I'm just gonna move this keyframe to around here. Around here, I'm just gonna move him forward, like not so far, and just kind of do that around halfway, and then here 0 and ease that one. Like, how does that look actually? Yeah, so what I was going for with that look was like a kind of forward looking movement. See, now you can see the forward movement. He's going kind of down. And that just gives it a little more effect to it. And then once it hits here, it just starts coming back up as it slows down to the stop. Then he kind of just wiggles. See? Yeah, so that's the basic idea. We're going to add motion blur, but before we do that, one more thing is what I'm going to do is I'm going to add like a head nod. So around here-ish, I'm going to like right here. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go into my auxiliary animation, channel 1. I'm going to try in my rotation. Just try. Is it going to work? Please say it's going to work. Does that work? No, because I have wiggle going. I have it on auxiliary animation. Is my auxiliary animation enabled? Yeah. Just close this up. Alright. Later. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Just gonna open up the App Store or something. iTunes. Oops. Is the alright, whatever. Alright. Need that head wobble. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut these layers. I'm going to cut these layers, Control Shift X. There we go. So now I have a nice cut to it, I hope. Now, Control Shift X. Did it do it? Did it do it? Right. Control Shift X. Did it do it? Shift X. Hope it did it. Did it make it? No, it didn't make it. Whatever. Alright. Well, I'm just gonna have him stop for a second. So around here, he's just gonna kind of bobble for a second. Right around here, and then right around here. So I'm gonna create a new keyframe on my position. Just gonna have him roll away. New keyframe. Right around here, I'm gonna have him just roll away like that, and just move it like that. So yeah. And then what I'm gonna do? Wait, it's not far enough. Oh shoot. Alright, there we go. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the rotation for it. Because I still need rotation. I wanna be a good editor. I wanna have rotation. So I'm just gonna go into my rotation here. I'm just gonna go into here and just create a keyframe, and then go to the where he's out of sight. almost outside, like around here, and just rotate her body backwards like this. Alright. Alright, does that work? Body spin? No. Where's my rotation for that? It's my X rotation. Oh wait. It was the body rotation, never mind. Go into here. Go into my rotation. My particle look. Or wait, no. Auxiliary animation 2. Here. Alright, here we go. So now we have the -3 and everything. So I'm going to create X and Y. So what is it? X, yeah. Create a new keyframe. And just move out to around here. And move it back. To like around here, you know. Just not that easy. So now, when he comes back, you have him rolling. He's kind of moving this way. Then he kind of wobbles and takes off. That works. Alright, so now that we have all our animation done, now we can start working with the camera. Yeah, sorry guys, the thing did it again. So here we go. Yeah, so that's the bb-8 video. I hope you got some good tricks on how to make your bb-8. I mean, this obviously needs some work on the position. It's a little off, but I hope you got some good tricks and tips on how to create a good looking bb-8 with all the reflection and the movement. I hope y'all can create something. And yeah. See you guys later. Bye.